This evening on The Vanished, one of the most mysterious missing child cases that happened here in Tennessee is still unsolved 54 years later. Dennis Lloyd Martin was just 6 years old when he vanished. Martin's case captured national attention. Some figured he was kidnapped, others lost, and some imagined a fate far worse. To this day, no one knows.
Dennis Martin's haunting story began on a summer day in 1969, when Dennis vanished during a family camping trip in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. What happened to this 6-year-old boy, and why has his disappearance remained unsolved for decades? Join us as we explore the chilling details and unanswered questions surrounding Dennis Martin's disappearance. Dennis Martin, a 6-year-old from Knoxville, was enjoying a camping trip in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park with his family on Father's Day weekend in 1969. Camping in the park had become a cherished tradition for the Martins, and this trip was no different. They hiked from Cades Cove to Russell Field and then planned to spend the night at Spence Field near the Appalachian Trail. However, tragedy struck on June 14th around 4:30 p.m. when Dennis disappeared. He had been playing with his older brother and other children from a separate family, planning to surprise the adults by hiding behind a bush. But when Dennis didn't return after about 5 minutes, and all the other children had come back to the campsite, his father grew worried and began searching for him. His father searched frantically for nearly 2 miles down the trail before realizing Dennis couldn't have gone that far. After hours of searching yielded no sign of Dennis, the family sought help from National Park Service rangers. The place where Dennis Martin disappeared is full of steep hills and deep valleys. It's also home to dangerous animals like snakes, bears, and bobcats. After Dennis went missing, heavy rain poured down, causing about 3 inches of rain to fall in a short time. This made the trails muddy and the streams flooded. Plus, it got quite cold that night, with temperatures dropping to around 50 degrees Fahrenheit. These tough conditions made the search for Dennis even more difficult. Despite extensive search efforts, which even included involvement from the National Guard and Green Berets, no trace of Dennis Martin was found. The search was made even more challenging by heavy rains on the first day and thick mist on subsequent days, which made it difficult to see and navigate the area. Up to 1,400 people participated in the search, which could have potentially obscured any clues that might have been present.
The next day, searchers scoured the Smokies for Dennis, but the rain not only washed away clues, it made it hard to hear anything.
And you're going down streams, it's roaring. The rain obliterated everything, I'd say.
The Rangers were behind the 8 ball before they even arrived.
Deputy Superintendent Clay Jordan says any clues left after the rain were soon washed away in a flood of people with good intentions. From military special forces, rescue squads, to thousands of volunteers, more than 1,400 people a day saturated the area, many of them without any training.
The outpouring of love and support was just enormous. The problem is, as they were searching for this needle in the haystack, they were trampling clues.
We had a lot of people. Stomps down everything and muddies up the trail.
Searchers stampeded any chance for dogs to pick up a scent, and dozens of Boy Scouts who helped the first day covered the muddy terrain in child-sized footprints in every direction.
It don't work. It don't work. You've lost the child forever.
Although footprints were discovered in the area, park officials dismissed them as being Dennis's, attributing them instead to a Boy Scout who was part of the search team. The footprints, which were child-sized, led to a stream where they disappeared. Interestingly, one foot was barefoot while the other was wearing an Oxford shoe, similar to the type Dennis was wearing. Retired park ranger Dwight McCarter believes these prints likely belonged to Dennis, as they were not part of a group and none of the Boy Scouts were searching while barefoot. By June 22nd, search teams had covered an area of 56 square miles, 150 kilometers, in their efforts to find Dennis Martin. Despite the extensive search, which involved over 1,000 people, no sign of Dennis was discovered. Search efforts persisted until June 26th, when they were scaled back. Finally, on June 29th, the search was officially called off after a final effort. The search operation was officially concluded on September 14th, 1969. Remarkably, to this day, it remains the largest search ever conducted in the history of Great Smoky Mountains National Park. Dennis's father offered a $5,000 reward for any information about his son's disappearance. This reward, equivalent to around $41,543 in today's money, was meant to encourage people to come forward with any leads. A few years later, a ginseng hunter claimed to have found scattered skeletal remains of a small child in Big Hollow, Tremont. However, he kept this discovery secret until 1985 because he was afraid of getting in trouble for hunting ginseng illegally. Despite subsequent searches in the area, nothing was found to confirm his claim. The unsuccessful search for Dennis Martin prompted the National Park Service to review and update its policies regarding searches for missing persons. This review aimed to improve the effectiveness of search operations and enhance coordination between agencies involved in such efforts.
A number of rumors are making the rounds, some of them more popular than others, most of them based on far-fetched theory.
Did Dennis Martin fall off a cliff?
3 main theories have been proposed to explain what happened to Dennis Martin. The first theory suggests that he may have become lost and succumbed to exposure or another cause, likely not long after he went missing. Park officials consider this theory to be the most probable, given the challenging terrain and adverse weather conditions in the area. The second theory proposes that Dennis may have been attacked by a hungry bear, or, less likely, a feral pig, and carried off. While encounters with wildlife are not uncommon in the park, evidence supporting this theory is limited. The third theory suggests that Dennis may have been abducted and taken out of the park by someone or something. His father was a proponent of this theory. On the afternoon of Dennis's disappearance, tourist Harold Key and his family reported hearing an enormous, sickening scream, and later saw a disheveled-looking man running up a trail near where the scream originated. The man then got into a white car and drove away quickly. However, park rangers and the FBI concluded that there was insufficient evidence to directly link this sighting to Dennis's disappearance. The distance between the sighting and Dennis's last known location, the uncertain timing of the event, and the lack of connecting trails raised doubts about its relevance to the case. Despite 54 years passing, we're still puzzled by what happened to Dennis Martin in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. He went missing during a camping trip with his family, and nobody knows why. Even though lots of people looked for him, they never found any clues about where he went. Some people think he got lost in the woods, while others believe he might have been taken away by a wild animal or even a person. Even though there have been sightings and stories, nothing has been able to solve the mystery of what happened to Dennis Martin that day. With this, we would like to end this video with the hope that you liked and enjoyed it. If you like our content, make sure that you like our video, and do share your views and opinions with us in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel to receive regular videos from us, and don't forget to click the bell icon to never miss an update. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Until then, peace.
The thickness of these woods has not changed in the last 55 years, but the methods of search and rescue have.
The Dennis Martin case changed everything. So we went out in the woods, did our best, looked for him wherever we could, but didn't actually have a pragmatic and systematic way of addressing where he might be.
Now Hall leads a regimented rescue effort in the Smokies.
Based on a course called Lost Person Behavior, we identify the areas based on the activity they were engaged in that person might be located in.
The hope is to prevent something like the Dennis Martin case from ever happening again.